I'm Stephanie Jones, Director of eBusiness at the SEMA Data Co-op. I've worked hands-on with data standardization since 2003. I've had the opportunity to learn from and work beside some of the folks instrumental in shaping the standards in the early years. I've designed systems and published thousands of data files using the standards and have taught several courses to share my cultivated knowledge. I hope you find useful information in this video that can assist in better understanding the standards and how to use them to benefit your organization. This topic was originally presented during the Automotive Content Professionals Network conference in spring of 2017. Sometimes parts data presents challenges when it comes to ACES standardization. So in this short video, we're going to cover mapping products that are configuration specific but that are not year, make, model driven. So what I mean by this is products that can fit a vehicle regardless of what body or chassis it's in, or products that aren't necessarily marketed with year, make, model as a requirement that's needed when you're trying to find the right part number. So you may only be required to know the engine or determine the part number. The product could still work regardless of what body that it's in. So we know that some products are unique to the engine, while others may be unique to the vehicle. There's a very subtle distinction there. Today, engine swaps are common as modern engines with fuel injection, coil unplug ignition, and higher horsepower are replacing older, less efficient, and heavier power plants. As an example, the General Motors LS series is being fitted into everything these days, from vintage Camaros to Porsche 944s, or even Miata-based track day cars. So other configuration examples that may fall into this same challenge would be transmissions or transmission-related products. We've seen examples where the fitment is only determined by engine displacement and horsepower rating. It's nothing related to a year, make, model. Brakes or brake kits that rely on axle configurations, including hub diameter or number of lugs, or a serial number rather than the year, make, model. So there's a pretty good sized market out there that wants to mix and match engines, transmissions, and axles. So what we need to do is figure out how that information is still going to be communicated electronically. So to illustrate, let's say that we've got a 1970 Nova with a swapped LS1 engine that came from a 1999 Camaro, and you're looking for a camshaft. So to do this, you need to know which LS engine that you've got, so whether it's a 5.7, 6.0, or a 6.2 liter. So somebody with a mechanical background or a car guru is going to understand this. But as a data mapper, the challenge is how are we going to communicate this electronically, right? So we've basically here lost any tie between the year, make, model and the engine since we've went beyond factory configuration. So today when we map this product, we run into some challenges. Sometimes our solutions today may not end up as the most efficient or effective way to describe fitment. And in a lot of cases, we end up with data that can be overmapped or overpopulated, very large files when you take into account all of the year, make, models an engine may cover, or even be mixed and matched back into. And third, it ends up being, the data will end up being very dependent on qualifiers and notes to have it make sense in an electronic catalog format. Okay, the good news is there's a new alternative that will lead us to a better long-term solution when trying to map this type of scenario. So this has been brought up in the work group process with AutoCare, and the group has been reviewing the idea of creating systems to manage an alternative data delivery for products that relate to components of the vehicle, such as an engine or transmission, when the year, make, model is not needed. This proposal was approved by the Technology Standards Committee at Fall Leadership Days in 2017, and this will be included in the ACES 4.0 version release. So this approved proposal essentially changes the ACES standard to now allow data to be mapped at a higher level than year, make, model. Today, having the year, make, model vehicle information is a requirement of a valid ACES file. So looking at this example, we can see that the vehicle type is expanded to show what system the mapping is for. And then it's going to show the engine information that's needed to describe fitment for the part number. So here we see in the application the vehicle type, so that's identifying that this is a engine system. Then the engine manufacturer, so who the ID of who the engine is built by, the engine base ID we're familiar with, and then the engine VIN, which we're familiar with. Then the rest of the app has the typical quantity per your part type and your part number information. So this ACES standard modification allows the option of delivering data at a broader level for products that it fits. This is not intended to shortcut year, make, model when it's needed or when it's appropriate to use. This is just an alternative to handle some of these outlier business cases. So this is not taking away the ability to map an ACES file with year, make, model. That will never go away. This is now just an alternative to mapping at that level. So now you have the option to either map at a year, make, model or at a system level. In review, sometimes we see challenges in mapping products that are not dependent on the year, make, model. But considerations are being looked at to change the industry standards to allow alternative mappings at system level, such as engine or transmission. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.